I'm so excited that you've taken time out to tune in to the Ella Johnson Show. I hope that you enjoy the broadcast. I hope you'll laugh. I hope you'll cry. But I hope that you'll be moved by what you hear. Well, my guests are very special to me, and so are you. So I want you to sit back, enjoy the show, and we'll see you at the end of the broadcast.
Tune in to the Ella Johnson Show, where we set the table for Real Talk TV. The Ella Johnson Show on Facebook and YouTube. You won't regret it.
What you can become depends on what you can overcome. My children's book, Love You More, is out now. Go to Amazon and purchase it today. And now it's time for the Ella Johnson Show, where we set the table for real talk conversation. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. And welcome to the Ella Johnson Show. Listen, I get so excited every time I come here to talk and see you beautiful, wonderful people. Well, listen, tonight we're going to have a fun show. As you can tell, I have Anthony and Jordan and Shannon with me tonight. Listen, we're going to have real talk. Y'all know how we do it. Y'all know how we do it here. It's Real Talk TV, where we set the table for real talk conversation. Tonight on the broadcast, right? Tonight on the broadcast, we're going to talk about athletes and gents in and off the field. Because listen, a lot of times we look at athletes and we have already made up our mind that they have it easy, that it's good. They got it going on. They have all these people behind them. There's a lot of hard work, and you're going to hear tonight what's really going on behind the scenes of being an athlete. But before we do that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching from Facebook, do me a favor, share the broadcast. We want it. Listen, look at these beautiful men. Listen, these young men are old enough to be my sons. So just, we'll go there, but I'm still a woman. I can still see, right? Okay. And they're gorgeous. And my friend my sister Shannon is here with us. And, but before we do that, I want you guys to take a look at this. This is my children's book. I promised you that this book would be ready for Christmas, and it's here. All you have to do is go to Amazon, look up Love You More. And those of you know, I dedicated this book to my sister who passed away last year, because Love You More is something she always said whenever she had to say goodbye. She always said, love you more. So the title of my book, Love You More. And she's the angel in the book. And she tells these young kids what it means to care for people in our society, because everybody's important. So this isn't just for children. Some of you adults need this lesson too. Just saying, right? But listen, I don't want to waste any time tonight, because I have so much to talk to these young men about. They're doing their thing. Shannon is doing her thing. My friend, she is the CEO and founder of Evolve Sports. And these young men are all intertwined with that. You'll hear about all of that tonight. She manages athletes. She's the producer of the 1% TV show. Listen, I can't wait for you guys to hear why they call it the 1% show. Pretty crafty, I might add. Very, very good. But she produces that. It's incredible. I love the show. She was featured in the Voyage Dallas magazine. That's right. My girl is doing it. And she's going to do it bigger and better. So if you're an athlete and you're watching this broadcast, you really should take down her name and get in touch with her, because there's going to come a day where you're going to need her to manage you, or for parents that are watching, to manage your kids, because she's teaching them the right things to not only get them in the NFL, but keep them there. Just saying. Right. And she's an author. She's a motivational speaker. She's a radio host. She's doing all of that. She has 5 kids. One of them, an NFL rookie. Wouldn't you believe that? Sitting right here. But she is with us. She's married to my brother Gene. She's my friend. She was the host of the Ella Johnson show. That's right. She came on and hosted my show. So not only does she do her own stuff, but she comes on and hosts everybody else's show as well. Welcome to the Ella Johnson show, my friend, my beautiful friend Shannon Mason.
Hello. Thank you. I'm glad to be
She
here.
does it all.
I'll be good
She does it
tonight.
all.
Oh, I'm
She
excited.
does do it all.
She
Listen,
does it. That's mom.
I for me to not have ever met you personally, I feel connected, right?
Right.
Because Shannon and I talk all the time, and we talked after the show one night for like, it was bad enough that we'd already been on the show 3 hours, but then we talked for another two. I mean, it was so bad. We were coming up out of wigs. Well, I was coming up out of wigs, lashes, and everything. That's how real we are to one another. She's like, you didn't look like that on the show, baby. This is really me right here. But I love you. I love you so much, Shannon. I love what you're doing. And these gorgeous men that are sitting here with us, Anthony, which is guys, listen, I I I'm gonna ask him to do something. I didn't tell him I was gonna do this, but I want him to say something to me in French. Can you just get me going. I don't have my bang tonight, so I'm gonna let you be my bang. Can you say
Right.
something in your language for everybody? Just say hello, how are you?
Non, for sure, for sure. Bonjour à tous, c'est Anthony Mahoungou et Jordan Smallwood. On est très heureux de faire partie de ce show et on est là pour discuter.
I don't even know what he said. I don't even know what he
He got
said.
it. He got
But
it.
whatever
He
he
got it.
asks, see, this is the thing with people like him. When he speaks like that, it doesn't matter what he's asked for. It's done. Right?
Oh, it's like that.
It's like that.
Well,
It's
look,
just
hold on,
like
hold
that.
on, hold on, hold on.
Hold on now.
I'm trying to tell you.
Hold on now.
Tell you
hold
what's
on.
real.
Hold on now. Bonjour, je m'appelle Jordan. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Got a little bit too.
I
Yeah.
feel
I
you.
can say-
Oh, that was
I
so
can go-
smooth. That
can
was
go-
so
Hey.
smooth. He's like, oh, it's like that. Well, let me try. You did that pretty
Yeah.
well. I mean, hanging out with him, you guys are
Yeah.
playing the
yeah.
same team. So,
Yeah.
well, let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about Anthony. Anthony was born and raised in Paris, France. He took a leap of faith when he was 20 years old, guys. Went to junior college, and all of that led to him being in NFL Europe. Okay. Yes, he was in the NFL Europe 2007. He played for Frankfurt Galaxy, right?
For
Is that what I'm saying
Galaxy,
right?
yeah.
Frankfurt
Yeah, yeah.
Galaxy. He has trained with the Philadelphia Eagles. He has been the host of ESPN in France. Football saved his life, is what he told me. He currently plays for the Red Blacks in Canada with Jordan there. Welcome. Welcome
I
to
appreciate
the
it.
Ella Johnson Show.
Well,
You
hey
kinda
everybody,
already
thank you so
just
much.
introduced-
Yeah.
I mean,
thank
I
you
know-
for having me. I
I
appreciate
know you
it.
get a lot of play like that. I know you do with that accent. I mean, come on. You can tell me. I'm auntie, right?
I mean, a little bit, but I guess, most of the time I just don't see it or I don't know that, it's game.
Don't
you
worry,
know.
I see it. I'll be doing
But he
He
does.
sees it.
He does.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
knows. And it's
does.
it's out of respect. Let me just tell you, 100. It's not anything bad. I know, because before the show you were like, you don't know whether it's good or bad, but it's a good thing. It just means that you're different, and people are attracted to something that's different that we're not used to. That's all it is. So
Right.
just play it up as much as you can. I was just
Oh
saying,
yeah, like we talked about, I still own it. It's part of who I am, and
that's right.
I love myself, enough to own it and be proud of it.
That's right. I love it. Well, welcome to the Ella Johnson Show. I look forward to knowing more about
Thanks
you
so much.
tonight. And then we have Jordan Smallwood in the building. Guys, I told him to put on a shirt. I know he has on a shirt, but I told him to put on I said, I am supposed to be professional tonight. I am supposed to be the host of this show. That's a distraction, especially when you
don't
haven't
hold your
seen muscles like that in a while. I'm just saying, right? I told him I should be paying you guys.
Yeah.
He is a former NFL wide receiver, guys. He teamed up with Evolve to be the advisor for the student athlete training. Means he's working with his mom. Isn't that awesome? I love it. He is the host of the 1% TV show. He's one of the hosts of the TV show. He's now in the CFL, which is Canadian Football League, and he plays for the Red Blacks in Canada. Now, when I see you, Jordan, gosh, you guys should have put your names right next to the person. So I won't
name tag, right?
Okay, I know, right? But the thing that I loved about Jordan when I talked to you today, and I will forever remember this, he said, it's hard to get in and it's also hard to stay in. And I like that because sometimes we think things are so easy. We look at it and we have no idea. That's why this show is so important tonight because these guys are out there, they're doing it, but I want you to hear what it took for them to get in and what it's taking for them to stay in. So welcome to the Ella Johnson Show.
Thank you for
Jordan.
Thank you so much.
Are you excited? You guys are in Miami. You're in my state right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we're in Miami
in
training.
in the 305.
Yeah,
Oh
training,
yeah.
working hard.
Is it hot? It's not really cold. It's actually hot still.
It's about averaging 75.
Yeah,
80
the temperature,
degrees
the weather.
at times. Yeah,
Yeah,
Not
the
bad in
weather's really
December, huh?
good.
not bad at all.
Right.
We like it.
Well, good. Well, I'm looking
keeping it
forward to talking to you guys a little bit more tonight. So you
Yeah.
guys ready? I wanna do this. I want to ask you guys some questions because I right off the bat, I
Off the
want
rip.
people to know right off the rip. I want people to know what we're working with tonight, right?
Okay.
Because I want to dig into your minds because you guys you're really doing your thing, and I know we're joking and having fun, but on the serious tip, you guys are making moves that
Yeah.
young people need to see how to make these moves, and that sometimes fast moves aren't always the best moves. Sometimes you got to do your time, and I really want people to see how you guys transitioned because you didn't just jump into the CFL. You didn't just jump into NFL. It took some time to get there. But I want to ask you guys up front, what's the easiest for you to manage? Your mind, your money, or the material things? What's
Oh,
the easiest to manage out of those three?
honestly, the easiest for me is my mind, really. My mind, because after that everything comes so easy, right?
Oh,
And
that's good.
like everything that is material, money. I mean, if my parents could have been on the show, they would tell you like I know how to manage stuff,
Yeah.
and
Very
my
disciplined.
mind, my mind. I'm not gonna say that it's just natural, but I guess coming from my dad is from Congo. He was born and raised in Brazzaville in Congo. After high school, went to Russia for university and then moved to France. And when you do that, out of high school, so we're talking 18-year-old boy
Mm.
leaving his continent, leaving his family to go to Russia, where it's like only white people, temperatures
Oh
always
wow.
freezing,
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're
speaking
not that friendly
a whole,
either in
yeah,
Russia. The
exactly.
Russians, they're not that friendly.
Especially
Yeah.
back in the day towards black people,
Yeah.
and then coming to France, from a young age, like the way he raised me and my siblings is like, okay, like it's your mind first,
Yeah.
right? Like if your mind is clear, then your path is going to become clearer, right? It doesn't mean that you're not going to face hardships, right? But at least you see them because it's clear, you know
I like that
and
because
and,
that's
and
where
that's
the battles are fought in
yeah,
the mind. That's
yeah. So
exactly good. What about you, Jordan? What's the easiest for
Um,
you?
I think for me overall, I have been working on more of my mind as well, just because um, a lot of things that I've gone through in my life, it all started at a young age as well. I mean, from seeing my parents go through a lot of things in life and still have opportunities for me to go to the right schools, to go
Wow.
through the right programs and get the things that I need. And all I saw was, hey, mom, I need cleats, or hey, mom, I need this. And I didn't know the stuff that they had to go through. And they sacrificed time, money, just to get me to the places I need to be. And as I started to see that, I was seeing it more in high school. And I saw that how they were doing it to my siblings, and I had to realize that okay, they've made decisions on what they wanted to do to help us be great young kids, at the time, and they still do it to this day. And when I wanted to go through the same um, lifestyle as a professional athlete and everything, they always used to tell me at my time, you got to have a strong mindset.
That's
What I
right.
mean, you got to be smart. You got to put God first at all times, and you're
Mm.
gonna go through a lot of things. And my mom, clear as day. I mean, I've seen her go through so much. I've seen my pops go through so much, and um, I had to go through things on my own as I got older. I had to overcome things when it comes to just, being a black kid, or just the fact of not having the enough stats on this, and somebody's judging you because you're too small and too
Mm,
skinny, and
mm.
I've literally been benched and put back just because of I wasn't the prototypical person for that team, and
Really?
I had to tell myself that I don't know if I can do this anymore. But my mom has told me that how strong is your mental, your will,
Yes.
and to overcome. I have it tattooed on me, overcomer, just because I had to overcome so many things in my life, and it reminds me how no matter what we've gone through, not having lights and water and everything, we overcome it together,
Mm.
and we all did as a family. And so that's what I kept in the back of my head as I kept working, and I was able to do those things. And now when things come up in life situations, because we still go through them together, me and Anthony, we overcome it no matter what it is. A coach might say something, he might not like us just because, or just the organization's being this way or that way, or we're not having an opportunity to lead. Instead of us saying we're done, we're not worried about football, we're not worried about anything else, we just sit there and go, all right, we're just gonna keep going, and something's gonna give. And I have been on this journey now with him, and he's actually taught me so much stuff just along the way with his faith. And
Aw.
yes, and it's made me stronger just right here mentally. I pay attention to the little details, the things that he do, and I know he doesn't think I don't pay attention, but I do. Whether it's him reading a book, and I can see him, he's always reading something, but he's always willing to learn, and he's always smiling, he's always keeping a positive energy, and it's something that I keep, and I keep a hold to myself, like, okay, God, like you really brought me here with him for a reason, whether it is to keep my faith stronger or see things differently, and it's or to strengthen my mind again, when I've had doubts, because everybody has doubts. Even as an athlete,
Absolutely.
you're gonna have doubts, on the field, off the field. It's always gonna happen. But
Preach, brother.
whatever happens, you gotta have a strong mindset. And when you said that, out of the three things, I was like, that's the first thing
That
that
was,
came to mind.
yeah. And
Yeah,
the reason that's so important, guys, is because if we can get the foundation right, you can build
right,
from that. But if the
yeah.
foundation is shaky, I mean, look, we can go back to the what's the little nursery rhyme about the building the house, and they built it out of straw. That but the one that had the
Oh,
stronger
the
foundation,
the Three Little
Oh,
Pigs.
the
three
three
little
little
pigs.
pigs. Yeah,
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 yeah, the Three Little Pigs. The
yeah.
wolf,
yeah.
wolf came and
But
brought the
we
house
can take
strong.
some of that because
Yeah,
it's proof it doesn't work if it's not built on the right foundation. And I like that you both answered mine because that's exactly where you have to start. And Shannon, I can tell, I can see now why you make them go to church on Sundays. I was watching and reading on your website. They have to go to church on Sundays because you realize that your job is a lot easier when they can make good decisions away from you. It's one thing for you to stand there in the room, but they need to feel your presence even when you're nowhere around. And I can tell that's exactly what's going on with these guys. Good job, Mama Bear. Isn't that what they call
thank you,
you?
Mama Bear.
Mama Bear,
Yeah,
something like that? Mama Bear.
Mama Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So this is going to be a thing I want you guys to think about because you're in football. Have both of you always just done football or have you ever ventured out into other sports?
No, so actually, me being born and raised in Paris, the main sport is soccer. So
Soccer. Right.
actually, I was a pretty good soccer player, and basically, I always knew that I was going to be a professional athlete. Somehow, even though it's not necessarily uh, in the family. I don't have family members who were professional athletes. I'm the first one, and basically, when you play soccer in Europe, uh, if by 12 years old, like by 12, if you're not in certain institutions, your chances to become professional are very close to none.
Mm.
And I had an opportunity, but my parents were. It's pretty common in Europe, especially when one of your parents is from Africa. They are extremely traditional, and it's like the way they raised me was it's education first.
Mm.
We don't know about sports. It's
Mm.
all about education. So you think you're going like they're like you think that we're going to let you go somewhere or like far away from home just to play soccer, and we won't be able to watch over you and make sure that you keep your school grades good. That was a no, straight up. So
Straight up.
I yeah, like at 12, I was still playing soccer, but because I knew that my chances were gone, it was like I didn't have no fun playing anymore because I don't have fun just by playing the sport. I get the fun by competing, right?
Ah,
And if
that
you tell me that
adrenaline is
that
okay.
if you tell me that I cannot go to the highest level that I know I'm capable of reaching,
Yep.
then the fun is gone.
Fun is
So
gone. Thrill is
actually, like
gone.
when I yeah, so like when I was 12, I stopped playing sport for a whole
Oh,
year.
okay.
I was just trying to find, okay, like what am I going to do? I was playing video games. Like I became like a geek, like a
That is so
real
hard to
geek, playing
believe.
like day and night, all the week, like every weekend. I grew up in the projects of Paris, right? So like people don't know that there's hoods outside of the U.S. But I'm letting you know, we got hoods all like in every big
I
cities in
did
Europe.
not know that. I did not.
They got hoods, they got projects, and it's pretty hectic. So where I'm from, parents don't like the kids to be out, and I like I was so much into video games, especially computer games, that my mom would ask me to go out, which my mom was crazy because I'm like, Mom, like, do you realize how many parents of my friends don't want them to be out, and you ask me to be out? You know what I'm saying? So so yeah, just to say, so I became a geek for a year, and then the next year when I was 13, I did a bunch of stuff. I played badminton, I played rugby,
Mm.
I even did Muay Thai, which is a style of boxing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
And
I've heard of that.
at 14, and I stopped it all, and I just jumped into football thanks to my big brother. And I went to his first game. I didn't know anything, right? I just knew they had helmet, shoulder pads. So I went to his first game. Couldn't understand the rules, but I loved the atmosphere. I loved the way the way that the whole team works together, right? And after that one game, I went to a few practices. I bought Madden. It was Madden '08 or no '07
Ooh,
'07.
Those are fun
Was
matches.
playing with the Bengals, Chad Ochocinco. I mean Chad Johnson,
yeah.
and
I knew who
after
that
that,
was. Yeah, I know you probably
yeah,
thought we got a
We,
teacher.
we, we
I know
yeah, I was
something.
like,
nah.
she
No,
might not
but I
know
mean,
that
at the time it was Chad Johnson. Then he went to
Yeah,
one.
Ochocinco,
Ocho
and then
Cinco.
got back
Yeah,
to yeah.
yeah.
But and yes, basically what yeah, 14. Started football and never looked back.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you guys a question. Who motivated you? Who in the game do you look at, Jordan, and you say, you know what? You followed their career and you look at them and you're like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Who was that for you, Jordan?
I was basically, for me in my position, it was Jerry Rice.
Jerry
Just
Rice.
having that leadership that he had and the mindset that he had, the hard working to not give up, never quit. My mom can tell you I was always talking about Jerry Rice all the time and trying to beat his records and just do whatever I can to be like him. There was times where
Wow.
he would in the off season, like stories of him just running and working out constantly, daily, even when they won a whole championship. They would win a championship, and he'd probably give himself a day and a half, 2 days max, and then he's right back into it. And
See, I
that's the
like it.
same mindset. That's the same mindset that I have. Especially after a season, after playing a long season, or just maybe winning something big. I'll give myself maybe 2, 3 days, and then after that, it's right back into it like nothing happened. And
Wow.
that's just the mindset that I have to keep going because I don't want to get complacent. I don't want to get used to the fact that okay, I'm comfortable. I made it to the highest level. I did this. No, because every year somebody new is coming in, somebody
That's
younger,
right.
faster, stronger,
That's right.
and I got to stay on my grind regardless. And meeting Anthony, he has the same mindset as me. That was it was perfect. No matter what happens, we always gonna work together. And this funny thing is, right after the season ended, we came back home to Dallas, and we were right back on the field. And a lot of people, asked us already, why y'all working out already? It's the off season,
Yeah, all the teammates, all the
it's
teammates.
time for y'all to
That's all
rest,
right.
and
You
there's no
gotta.
time to rest.
That's
So
right. I agree with you
um,
on that.
yeah, so we,
Who is
we,
it
we
for
do it the
you?
smart way.
Who is it for you, Anthony? Who is that person that motivates you, that you look up to in the football world?
Well, to be honest, I gotta say two, right? The first one really um is Deion Sanders.
Mhm.
Dion. Okay.
Like the way he changed, the culture of this game. Um, but it's like the reason I want to say two is because okay, I knew Deion Sanders. Okay, like I knew he was a legend, but at the very first, I didn't understand, how he changed the game.
Mhm.
Like really the main one is my mentor. His name is Steve Delaval. He's my trainer back home. So every time I'm in Paris, he's my trainer. He's like my mentor, my guru. Take care of me every day, doing 2 days, gym, field. And he was my first coach. He was my first football coach when I started. And at that time, he's what? He's only 7 years older than me.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
so when he was coaching me, he was, still playing. He played wide receiver, and he was, I mean, one of the best in France. He played for the national team, played on a few world all-star teams.
Mhm.
Like I mean, a receiver that is well respected in France and in Europe, and he was my first coach. So obviously, I mean, I could see him like he'll literally train me on Wednesday and Saturday afternoon. I would go to his game and just go see him go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
yeah, he
So
he
Shan,
he's my mentor, and yeah.
so Shannon, how
Yeah.
is it that you got involved with sports? How what made
Mm.
you say, you know what? I want to just develop athletes. Where did that come from?
I didn't want to develop athletes. I used to play sports. I played every sport there was. Second degree black belt. Got Jordan at a young age, and so I knew there was greatness. I actually, after I had him, I actually lifted him up to God and said, "Okay, God, he's yours." So I saw the
Oh,
greatness on him in the beginning, and so when Jordan decided to play sports, I'm that mom that goes, okay, if you want to play it, fine. If you don't, let's find something else. But I wasn't the mom that goes, you're going to play this to get us out of our situation,
right.
right? Because you have a lot of
Yes.
moms who put the pressure on their kids.
Yes.
So we weren't, we didn't raise our kids like that. It's like, this is the sport you want to play, fine. And so I remember one day I was headed to school to pick him up, and they went to a predominantly all-white school, and it was really a good school. Loved the school. And so I looked over to my right, and there was this kid in a BMW convertible, white kid, kid you not. And the first thing I said was, look at that spoiled. And it came out, right? Because I call him a spoiled brat. I'm going to keep it 100, right? This is the Ella show.
That's right.
I'm sitting there, and God, I know it was the Holy Spirit. He's like, no, he's not spoiled. His parents built a legacy. And from that day forward, I changed my mindset. And I said, okay, I've got to build a legacy that they can continue on. And so, because he was in sports, why not build it around sports? So that's when I started putting together ideas for, a sports facility or sports program and things like that. And so that's kind of how it all got started. And so actually when they were young and he wanted to play sports, I was like, you know what? If this is what you want to do, because I know sports had a stigma, especially on Black men. It
Yes.
have a very bad stigma. The
Yeah.
women,
Mm-hmm.
the lifestyle. So when Jordan was young, we would have heart to heart conversations. And I would interview him at home. I'm like, you're not gonna get on there and be homie and all that. I'll
Preach. Yes.
choke you. I will
Yes.
literally, my hand will come through the screen. I'll choke you, and he used to laugh. So I would interview him at home after his game.
I love it.
So I would
I
train him
love
on
it.
that, and just how to carry himself, how to respect. Put him in scenarios. Okay, if you're benched, you're not going to sit on the bench and have an attitude. You're not going to walk around with a chip on your shoulder. You're still going to be a team player. You're still going to support your team, and you're going to respect the coaches. So I'm like, if this is what you're going to do, then I want to train you to be not a part of the stigma. And so that's kind of how it all
I like
came
it.
forth.
Because
And
all 5 of your kids are athletes. Tell us about that.
so Jordan was the first one. My second one is Julian. He played football, but he had a knee injury, which he ended up having 4 knee surgeries. And so
Ooh.
he's transitioned to baseball. And then there's Jaden. She's a senior in high school. She plays basketball, point guard. She actually just got picked up by underrated under Stephen Curry to go to the Bay Area in April to play.
Yay!
Underrated.
Congrats.
And then there's Christopher and Christian. Christian plays basketball and runs track, and Christopher runs track.
And they're twins.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's all. You have your hands full. Listen, guys, I know I don't know a lot about football. I'm old school, but I know a little stuff.
enough.
So
You know enough.
so tell me this, who compares, you see how Kobe was to basketball? Who is that in football?
Oh gosh. The thing is, I mean, you got Tom Brady. I mean,
I was gonna say Tom Brady too.
Tom Brady is.
He said, don't say
probably the
Tom Brady.
greatest.
Why did you tell him not to say Tom Brady?
No. I said I thought about Tom Brady too, but
But
I mean, he's a winning.
there's so
He's
many-
a winning.
there's so
He's
many
winning. That's for
great.
sure.
There's so many great people that
There
have
really
that,
are.
that Mamba mentality. So
So give
it's
me the
kinda
greatest
hard,
old
man.
school that's retired, and then give me the greatest now who's in the game. Who's the greatest old school?
I mean, honestly, old school. We got Bo Jackson,
Yeah.
Bo
my
Jackson,
man,
yeah.
Jerry
Walter
Rice.
my
Payton.
man.
You got Bo Johnston, Walter Payton at the
Again,
time.
Dion.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice,
I mean, gotta if we talk Jerry Rice, we gotta
There's
talk also to Randy Moss.
Randy Moss.
Oh yeah, I
Respect my
remember Randy Moss,
man.
Vikings, right?
Yeah, you gotta respect my
Yeah.
man now.
Wasn't he played the position you played, right, Jordan? Wasn't he a wide
Yeah,
receiver?
Yeah,
receiver. Yeah,
receiver.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
plays receiver. So I
See, you
mean,
guys didn't think I knew
those
that,
are
right? Yeah.
yeah. See, you got it. You've been doing your research.
So well, no, I lived it. I just know some of this stuff. Because back in the day when Tampa Bay, we're going to talk about Tampa Bay because I know y'all got a little thing with Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay is winning in the AFC North right now, right? Or
Yeah.
South? Which one is
Yeah.
it? South? But anyway, so let me ask you guys a question. Do athletes get depressed? Like, do you ever go through a period where you're just like, you know what? I don't want this anymore. I am done. I can't deal. I'm not getting the break I thought I was going to get. I'm tired of these coaches looking me over. Have you ever, I mean, being real, have you
Yeah.
ever almost went that way or went that
Yeah.
way? Have you ever been there?
Man, there's no almost. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk on this one.
Tell you tough stuff.
Obviously, like college, especially D1, it's tough, right? But despite the downs that I met early in my career,
Yeah.
I was able to end my college career on a very high note. But I ain't gonna lie, when like I hit rock bottom when I got cut by the Eagles.
Mm.
Ooh,
When I got cut by Philadelphia,
that hurt.
I mean it was crazy because first of all I didn't see that coming. I was having a great camp. Didn't have much target during the preseason, but I mean as a receiver you cannot control that. And the day I got cut, it was like, did I do all that for nothing? Like, it's like your future is crushed. You think that your future is crushed, literally.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't understand what's going on. You're like, okay, like what do I do? I'm lost. What do
Yeah.
I do? I remember like getting cut, getting to the hotel to pack my stuff, waiting for my flight, and I just texted Jordan right away. I think I honestly think that Jordan was the first person
Yeah.
that I talked to and I say, bro, man, they just released me. And after that, he called me, chop it up for 5 minutes. He was trying to, tell me, to keep my faith, keep my head up.
Oh, yes.
I texted my family, my mom, my pops, my big brother to tell them, hey, I got cut by Philly. I'm gonna go back to Purdue. And you guys might not, hear from me for a little while. but everything is good. I'm going, everything is going to be straight. And after that, like for 2 weeks,
Mm.
2 weeks, I didn't talk to nobody. 2 weeks, I would only talk to the guys that I would see physically, all my former teammates, my coaches that made sure that I would keep training. Um, they would it, they would tell me to come to the meetings, right? Because it was beginning of the college of the season, right? It was the beginning of the season, so they got games, and my receiver coach and Marcus Shepard was like, Anthony, like, come to the meetings, come help me, come at practice, and I would literally like not talk to anybody from France.
Mm.
Wow.
Like it was like I was lost. Literally, I was lost. Like there's no other words that come to my mind. It was a blur.
Mm.
See, if your mind had not been focused, if your mind had not been solid, you wouldn't have gotten up out of it. So at what point did you come up out of it and say, okay, you know what? Let's go at it again. Let's start over. What
Okay,
what point did you do that?
because again, like I had struggle in my life, right? Everybody does,
Right, right.
and I've always been able to overcome it because I always believe that God has a plan for me. And even when I tell you that I was lost, deep down, I knew that okay, like it's just a phase. But
Yes.
deep
Yes.
down, I knew it. It's not like I couldn't see like the light at the end of the tunnel, but that tunnel was just so long that for me to really reach that light, even though I could see it, but it was tough for me to reach it. You know, and I guess I mean just the we talked about the mind earlier. That's how we kicked off the show. I've always had a strong mental, always.
That's
Like
good.
my
I can
friends,
tell.
like my friends,
Yeah.
be it like my hood, my guys from the hood, my close friends, my classmates in high school. Everybody would say the same thing that I'm different. You know, like they don't know how to explain. Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm special, but I was always different from other people because my mindset is just for French
I
people. My
love
mindset is
it.
crazy. You
Yeah.
know,
Wow. I love it.
and
I love it.
because I again that faith, you know,
Beautiful.
that
So I like
that believe that
right.
there's something like it's not
Yeah.
like I didn't lose nothing. It's just okay. You just
Your
got to go
loss
through
was
that
a
phase.
gain.
Yeah.
Sometimes a loss can be a gain. And,
Yeah.
and I like that you're being transparent about this because people need to realize that just because he was at Philadelphia Eagles, you would think he's arrived. But you see, he
Mhm.
got to that level. So
Oh yeah.
sometimes, even when you get to the top, sometimes you still got to keep your mind together and don't lose
Mhm.
yourself because you never know
Oh
when you
yeah.
have to go back, right? So
Exactly.
I am so
Especially
glad
Jordan
that,
knows.
and I'm glad
Jordan
you were
knows.
there for him, Jordan. I'm
Yeah.
so glad
Yeah.
you were there for him. And see, Shannon, you're teaching your son and he's teaching. See
Right.
how what you did flowed through and to someone else? You didn't speak directly to to Anthony, but your son did. I love it. I just love it. I'm just loving you guys. So
We're
let's talk
talking.
about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
So
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
before we do the Tampa Bay, Alec, ask Jordan because Jordan went through it too. So
Really?
Jordan.
We're gonna slide the phone a little bit because the charger. I'm just gonna slide
Oh
Oh,
it.
yeah,
okay.
they
Well, y'all
charged
I
work
won't
it
done
out.
charging.
Jordan.
Here we go.
Jordan went to Kansas and he was
Let me
cut from.
move them down till they get that situated.
There we go. We got it. We got
Okay,
it.
you got it now? Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
we got it. Sorry about
So
that.
Jordan, mom wants you to talk about when you had a little bit of depression.
Yeah. I'll talk about my part. Me being um with the Kansas City Chiefs, I didn't get picked up from the Kansas City Chiefs right away. I had actually had to do a tryout, and in that process of the tryout, they were only taking 3 people, and it was like 70 guys. But the 70 guys wasn't just one specific position; it was all positions. So um, it was me, a cornerback, and a center. So the center is the one that starts the whole play. The cornerback is the guy that's in front of the receiver. He's trying to stop, the receiver from making a play. But there was guys that were truly gifted athletes out there making plays and everything. And it was not until day 3, so it was a 3-day camp. And day 1, day 2, I mean, I was not getting nothing. I didn't get the ball. I wasn't getting no time. And I remember I was calling my mom, and I called my agent at the time, and I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna make this team. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. And my mom just said, no, don't give up. Just keep having the faith. And I would pray every day, and I would stay on top of my, on top of my prayers. And I was just like, all right, God, like this is the last day. I said, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I said, I haven't touched the ball, I haven't done nothing, I haven't plays. I study hard, I focus in, I do everything. But it's the last day, so I'm just gonna go out there have fun, and it is what it is. And I think it was at that moment that I truly seen God work through me, because like I had a couple passes, I made a touchdown in a play, like in practice and everything, and it was like a big play too. So I was like, all right, I did my plays. It is what it is. If I don't make it, at least I went out there and gave everything I got. And
That's right.
when they told me that, I was gonna make the team, at that time for the training camp and everything, it was amazing, because out of all the people, they were just, all right, have a good one, have a good one, have a good one. You stay.
You stay.
You stay, right? And then I'm like sitting there, I'm thinking I gotta leave. And as I'm getting up, somebody grabbed my shoulder and said, go ahead and sit down, man. Just stay a little bit, eat. And so I was just kind of like nervous. Like, did I do something wrong? I was a little nervous. But at that moment, people were saying, man, you did it, bro. You did it. And I was like, what? I did what? And sure enough, signed my first NFL contract.
Oh,
And it was one
woo.
of those things that I was so excited, because he signed with Philly at that time, and he was still with Philly. And I told him, I was like, man, I made it to the Chiefs. And like we were just geeked out, and we was happy, and my mom was happy. My mom's like repping the Chiefs
Yeah.
thing,
I
right?
bet she
And
was.
she's looking for
I
the tickets and everything. I said, Mom,
yeah.
wait, wait,
And
but
I mean,
it's the
what
first
what
time though.
what I want to add to that is that so the day of the draft, the last day of the draft,
Yeah,
Wow.
so the draft is over and we didn't get drafted, right?
no,
And so at this time it's like, okay, what what do we do? What do we
what
do?
did we
A few
do?
hours later, my we've always had the same agent. So my
Yeah,
agent called me, said, okay, have you ever been to Philly? I said no. Well, okay, pack your stuff because they sent a contract, you go in there.
yeah,
I said, okay, that's perfect. And so I tell that to Jordan. I said, hey Joe, like, did you get any news? He said, man, I got to try with the Chiefs. I was like, oh, man, look, hey,
yeah.
tell me, how everything goes, because his rookie mini camp was a
It was
week
a week before
before mine.
you.
So he went there. I prayed for my brother, and it was like, Anthony,
Aw.
I made it. So I was like, amen.
Yeah,
And then after that, it was my turn. But me, it was not on a trial basis
yeah.
because they
Because
really
he's
sent me
already
a
there.
contract before. But
Yeah,
the thing is, even when you sign this contract, if you don't ball out during the rookie minicamp,
you
they
can
just
still
take
stay.
another, they cut you and they take somebody else.
Wow.
It's still
So you
And
have to go through different levels before you
yeah,
finally make it.
yeah. And I mean,
Oh,
I
I
went
see.
there, went there, killed it, and then I was able to say, hey, Jordan, hey, your boy made it too.
Oh,
and
yes.
the crazy thing I would say about all that is just that moment. That's when you feel like, oh, I've arrived, right? I made it. I got my foot in the door. I made that 1%. And I remember it clearly to this day. I had a person that always asked me like what I want to do in my life, and that person was a family member, right? And that family member kept saying, "So, what do you want to do with your life?" And I said, "I want to be a football player." And he kept telling me only 1% makes it, so you got to think of something else. And at first, it kind of hit me because it was just like, "Do you not believe in me to make it?" And I told my mom that. And my mom could tell you, we always talk about this story. And it's just the fact that, like, he kept saying only 1% makes it into the league. And I said, all right, I'm going to be that 1%. And I kept that in the back of my head. And when we finally made it, my mom brought it back to me. And we just teared up, crying and everything. But it was like, it was a powerful moment. But that was the positive side. But then the negative side of all that is now you're in the league. And now you're dealing with the whole new things of politics. You're dealing with the fact that you're stressing out every day because you don't know, like, when they just don't like you no more and they just want to let you go. And so every day was almost like I was competing to stay in front of the coaches' faces. And when he got released, like you said earlier, it brought that attention to me. Like, okay, God, why did he get released? And we work hard. What's the deal? And I said, okay, I'm gonna focus in because that practice, I remember clear as day. I was kind of off my game a little bit because I was just thinking about him, and it wasn't the fact of like me being afraid of getting cut. It was just the fact of like I know how hard he works, and
Exactly.
I told
Yeah.
myself, okay, then I'm gonna go hard, and so I went hard all through training camp. And when I got to the last game, I made some plays. I was on there. I was in the game. We ended up winning against Green Bay. It was clear as day. I remember we played against Green Bay. I had like two or three catches, and I'm thinking, all right, this is my rookie year. I just got in the door. I get it. They already have a list of starters. I understand that I'm competing, but these guys have been on the list still to this day. And I said, okay, I'm gonna get my foot in the door. Practice squad. I'm gonna be all right. We're gonna start from there. And when I didn't find out I didn't make practice squad or nothing, and I got released just because of numbers, and we like your film and everything. We like what you did, but have a good life. That's what basically it felt like. And you go from that to just nothing, and you go home and you feel depressed because people are asking you, why didn't you make it? Why didn't you make it? Or you're
Oh.
not good enough, and
Oh,
you deal with that
Oh.
every single day. And I
Especially
just
after
like
you've
him.
already
Yeah.
told them you made it, and
Yes.
now they're
oh,
excited.
hey,
I
you
was,
Yes.
just you
I
just
was,
reminded me of something.
it was a
Yes.
game. It was that Green Bay game, and me and Audrey went down there. My husband Gene went down there because we was taking his car to him, and so that was a good game. So we're sitting there. We went out to eat, and he gets a phone call, and he said they want to see me back at the facility. So we're like, okay, cool. We get in the car. We follow back to the facility. And when he comes out, the look on his face. Now, as a mom, everything
Oh,
just goes,
I
and
know it.
they let me go. And you're just
Oh.
so your mind is like,
Mm,
wait, what? Okay, wait, huh? What just happened? And so that was a very long ride home.
I'm
What
sure.
was it?
But
6 hours, 7 hours? Oh my gosh! I
but
was in the corner just sad.
I had
Yeah.
it was either do I pamper him
Mm-hmm.
or do I shake it off? And one thing, because he went to OU, and one thing Coach Stoops used to tell him, you got 24 hours to get it out your system, whether you win or
Mm,
lose. You got
That's
24
right.
hours. So I had to look at him. You got 24 hours to get it out because either I could have stayed there or I could have let him stay there, or it was like you got 24 hours. How many
Mm-hmm.
and I used to say, and it's funny because Gene says, how many teams is in the NFL? And then I think
32,
he said 30, 30, 36 or
32,
something like that.
30, 30,
32,
32,
32,
One
32.
team. He go, okay, you got 35 more to go. So it was
Amen.
like
31.
pretty much it's like you got to get up. You got to get up.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
no you can't sit
Is that
here.
hard to do though? To tell them, all right, get. I know that's got to be hard to say
It's
because you
very
want to
hard
pamper them.
because
Yeah.
it's I mean, we got to kind of go back just a little bit because when he was growing up, he was like, I'm going to the draft. And that's why I wrote my and talk about expectations because you have this expectations. Kids have this expectations when they think NFL, NBA. I'm going to the draft. I'm wearing the suit. I'm doing this, and this. They don't see what if you don't.
That's right.
They don't see that. Nobody talks about that. Everybody
That's right.
talks about the glam life, the suit, the $20 million. That's all they talk about. But their story was we didn't do that. So as a kid, he's growing up thinking he's going to the draft. High school, All-American. I mean, this dude played in the Simplified Bowl. I mean, he was just killing it.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to college. He has his first injury. Okay, as a freshman, you redshirt. That's cool. So he went through things. They don't talk about the recruiting process and being overlooked and coaches bringing in the new fresh guys and overlooking you. So he went through all of that. So the playing time that he should have got at OU, he really didn't get. But he never gave up. He still was there with the coaches. He still went to practice. He still worked hard. And out of that, he received 2 honor awards, the highest you can get at OU for his character. So we didn't know OU had been watching him. So now fast forward. So the reality goes, there's no draft, Mom. We're not that dream as a kid. We're going to the draft. We're going to have everybody at the house. We're going to have the media there. That didn't happen. And so we had a small draft get together with the family. He was like, I'll take the last man, if they draft me as the last man. And so it's like when him and Anthony said, his name didn't get called. So that was the first hit. It was like, we're sitting there and the draft's over. And he just looks at me and he just goes to it. And then to watch your son slide down the wall. And you're like, I can't, how can I fix this? Like your mind is, you don't know what to do, but it was like, get your head up, get your head up, get your head up. So then that's when he gets the call for Kansas. So then to see it again, and that's not the first time. So he's been released through what, Kansas,
San Francisco,
49ers,
yeah,
right? And it's all, and it's not. And the funny thing is, they all say the same thing. He's amazing, but he doesn't have the film footage that they would have liked if he'd have got from OU. So you're going through this, and at the same time, you're watching these athletes, and he's not the first. You're watching him go, am I not good enough? Gotta prove myself.
Yeah. That's why the mind is so important. Yes.
To watch them go through, I mean, and that's when you see athletes turn to alcohol and women. And because society puts such a demand on them, and they just want to make it, right? And so, and as little kids, the football is fun, but then as you get older, it changes. Fun starts to leave, and you have to bring them back to why did you play? And so we've got fans. 1 minute the fans love you, next minute the fans hate you. 1 minute
that's life.
That's normal. Anthony,
right, so normal.
Man, what I had crazy stories.
It's so broad because it's like, am I not good enough?
Yeah. Did you think that, Jordan? Is that where your head was? You were like, am I not good enough? Is that what you were thinking?
I definitely thought that for a while. After it was to the point where when you get cut for so many like different things or excuses they come up with, you get kind of numb to it. I got to the point where I was so numb of getting released that it was almost like there's nothing that somebody can say to me anymore. Like, I don't know if I can play this game anymore. I don't know if I'm able to. And I didn't get the feeling of loving football again until I actually did the XFL. Now, the XFL was a league that happened before. It got shut down and it brought back up again. And I was able to go to the XFL. And I just told myself, you know what? This is a new league, fresh faces, and I don't care who's on this field. I'm gonna dominate. And
that's right.
I went from just a call to come do a workout and everything, and it was actually they would sign me. I remember. Let me take that back. They signed me and they said, "Hey, we're gonna sign you to this XFL team." And so I asked them at first because I thought I had to do a tryout because I'm always doing a tryout. And so they said, no, we're going to sign you. But it was just like the last receiver. And I said, okay, that's all I need.
You're in, though. That's all that matters.
So I got in and I dominated the camp. Nice. It took me 2 days into camp, and then I was starting because I went in there with a mindset. And then from there, I never lost my starting job. And I was actually balling out until COVID happened. Mm-hmm. And when COVID happened, I looked at my stats and everything, and I was in the top 10 of receivers in the whole league of the thing. And I was like number 6 or 7 or one of the numbers. And I was on pace, and I was, oh my gosh, COVID happened. But it gave me hope and a mindset of, okay, I can do this.
Yes.
And ever since then, I took that, and I realized, I said, no matter what happens, I can play professional football somewhere, and I can play in this game. And I talked to all my coaches there, and they told me, you can play in this game. And I was like, okay, that's all I needed to hear. I just needed somebody to believe. And when they did that, I love it. Yeah.
Oh,
so you get moments, but if you give up, like, me and Anthony, we always say that if you give up, you're not going to see those moments happen.
That's it.
And,
I love it.
That was the mindset that I had.
Because there's some young men out there and young women out there now that are aspiring to be athletes on your level.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they're seeing that losing is part of the process.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah. You wouldn't be here and able to speak like this had you not lost. You wouldn't know what losing felt like to be able to tell people it's okay to lose. So I'm so glad you guys shared that. But let's talk about the Buccaneers. Let's talk about the Buccaneers. Y'all love the Buccaneers, right?
Talk about the Buccaneers.
We need
shout out to my boy Chris Turner. He loves the Buccaneers. That's his team. Shout out to
Chris,
my co-host. Yeah.
You know what, I like the Bucks. I mean, like I told you guys before the show started, I was a huge Buccaneer fan. I was at the tailgates, I was at the movies, I had the jersey. I mean, I was at the, not the movies, I was at the games. I was yeah, I met Dungy once, and I was like, I was in love with Sean King. Y'all remember Sean King?
Yeah, I remember
Mhm.
Sean King.
He couldn't play that good, but I was just, I mean, he was always dropping the ball. I'm just saying.
Nah,
But I mean, I was back in the time with, Warren Sapp and Lynch and those guys with the Bucks. That was during my time. But anyway, so Alabama, Auburn. Which one are you guys for?
Bama.
definitely
Bama.
Bama. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are
Bama.
Bama. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I
If
hear
I
you.
had to,
Just, I mean, not only because of all the greats, especially the receivers and DBs who went there, but just the head coach, Nick Saban.
he's a
Oh
smart
yeah,
guy.
he's awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. But I'm not even gonna front like I care, because I like whoever's winning. I'm just gonna be 100.
Right, right,
I
right.
When
There's
I
no
show
one
up at an Alabama Auburn game, I'm like,
Yeah.
I like that shirt. I go
You
by
either
which
you
shirt,
either
I
which
like
War
jersey I like.
Eagle, War Eagle, or
Yeah,
Roll
I'm
Tide.
not.
You're
So
one or
don't
the
bet
other.
on me because I'm no good. I'm just telling.
Okay.
I'm no good when it comes to that. What's your favorite football movie? Like my favorite football movie of all times. Remember the Titans.
the
That's my
Titans.
movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
I like Friday Night Lights. I don't know.
Oh yeah. That's a good one
I,
too. That's a
I,
good
I
one
just
too.
enjoy the high school atmosphere because
Yeah.
I mean I won state in my high school title in my senior year, and like just that journey of like high school dealing with problems. I was like, man, that's real stuff,
That
and
is real
you just
stuff.
you see
Yeah.
that brotherhood of family of high school people
Yes.
that just it's not about the money. It's more like we just got to do it, guys.
We
Like
just got to do
we're
it. They shut the
young,
whole city down,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and then
They shut this.
you really have real fans in high school that be like,
Yeah.
y'all gonna
That's
win
where the
state,
real
but
love
hey,
is. In high
yes,
school.
That's
but
where it
they'll
is.
you
Yeah,
get
that
the real fans. Like we
support
rooting
is
for y'all now.
it's like
Yeah,
real love. The fans, the parents. It's different. College, it starts getting political, and then it just,
Because you don't think about all that stuff in high school. In high
no,
school, it's just everybody's on the same team. We like the lights. We like the band playing. We like
yes,
having our
yes,
name called at the pep rally. Yeah,
yes.
see,
Oh my gosh,
I remember the high school because I was a cheerleader, so I was like very involved in the sports and all. I was that cheerleader that cried when we lost. All the other girls, other white girls, they're like in the bathroom doing their makeup, and I'm over there like losing it because I didn't want to lose
right.
until it was time to go to Hardee's. Now, when they said, Ella, get off the bus, it's time to eat, I was over it then. I was just being
yeah.
honest. I was good then. I was like, all right, well, then we got him next time. We'll get it next time. But that's good. I like that. And another movie that was good too. It's not that popular, Rudy. You remember
Yeah.
that
Rudy is
one?
good. Yes,
Of
Rudy is
course.
good.
Because it's a good different side of it. Because he
Oh
wasn't
my
cut
God.
out for it, but he had the heart for it.
The
And
heart.
sometimes in life, that's all it takes.
And one person believes.
Sometimes.
That's it.
Yeah.
One person has
Hey,
faith.
Spud Webb.
he got his vision. He had his
He
vision,
had a vision. Yeah.
and he persevered.
Spud Webb. Wasn't he
Yeah.
the shortest guy to ever play NBA?
Yep.
And he was in the NBA and he's like what, 4 feet tall? I mean, he was probably taller than that.
Yeah,
But
hard.
I'm about to say, I hope
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
that.
no,
I know.
probably
I
like
mean, but
five, six,
standing up
5'8".
to get Michael Jordan, I mean, he was like 4 feet as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, I'm gonna talk about something now. All right, mama. Close your ears.
Oh Lord.
Okay. He said, oh Lord. Did you say that? Can you
Yep.
say it in French? said, "Oh, Lord."
Nah, oh Lord.
so So listen, I mean, because this is a part of it. Women, fans, it's all a part of it. And I want you guys to talk about real talk how you juggle with that. Let's start with training. When you're in training, can you even think about girls? Can you think about sex? Can that even be a part of your cycle?
No.
Or can you
No.
just totally that has to be eliminated because you got to train? Where do they come in and when should they go out? The women.
I think our mindset. I mean, how me and him train. I can't speak for everybody, but how we train, we lock in. And so when it's time to train, we train, and we handle our business first before we do anything else outside.
So
And
women are out
yeah,
at
we
that
don't
point.
even think about it. At that point, it's all about, hey, we got to push each other right now, and we have to get through this next rep. So that's what we focus in. There's no distractions when it comes to that. While we're
Now
out
you're not
there.
just saying that because Mama's there, right? You
No,
are.
no,
That's real
I'm
talk. Okay.
the thing that's so crazy is mom can vouch for us. There's times when we say, Mom, we're leaving, we gotta go train. She knows we're going to go train, and there's no joking around about it, or we saying it to sneak out the house. We go train and we go work, and we make sure to get our work done before anything else because we know the mission is to get back into the league, and
That's
we're
right.
not going to be able to do that by talking to some girl over here or just doing other things that's going to distract us at that time when the next man in the state over or next door neighbor or across the country is working harder than us. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna do that. We
But
gotta work.
it's not like, honestly, it's not like it's hard to do though.
Yeah.
Like I truly believe that there's a timing for everything, and it's just, like, for example, in college, when it's training camp, for example, in August, it's just you don't think about women. You don't like in college. I had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't I didn't think about her, and I mean no disrespect. Like I mean
I
she
was
knew
not.
it.
I saw those words coming, but I was like, he's
It,
not gonna say that.
yeah,
But
But
he
yeah,
no,
said
no,
it.
but no, but
Real.
it's like, and it's like she was an athlete, so she understand, and
Okay.
and it was like, yeah, like August training camp. I trying to get my starting job. It's not, it's not even intentional. It's just I'm so focused on football
I
that
love that.
is the only thing on my mind,
yeah,
you know.
Wow.
yeah.
But
You
again, like
guys are
it's not,
solid then.
but it's not something like, oh man, like I want to talk to that girl, but oh no, I gotta focus on training. No, I just don't think about it. Like so it's not
Wow.
even so it's not like it's hard. It's just, yeah,
You've
it's
done an
just
amazing
natural.
job, Shannon. Listen, these young men, and I know, especially Mr. Paris here. I know you're getting attention. Okay,
No,
tell
they
Auntie the
do.
truth.
No,
You guys are getting attention though, right? You do get a lot of women
I
hollering
they
mean,
at you, right?
do.
Hold on, she talks to me.
No, they
okay,
do. I mean,
okay.
She
the
talks to me.
first time I've seen it. So when Jordan was in high school, because, and then I'll bring up to Anthony. When Jordan was in high school, and his senior year, and there was a girl he liked her, and
Oh, hey, I
it
want
was
to know. I
soon as
want to know,
season
mom.
start. Listen, soon
I
as
want,
season started, I asked him. I said, "Well, what's her name?" Oh, I had to let her go. Season started. He literally dropped her, right? So wait. So my twin, my one of my twins, he's 15, had a girlfriend. So I finds out about it. I was like, well, and by the time I found out, they already broke up. So I asked him. I said, well, Chris, I said, well, when did you get a girlfriend and who is she? He goes, oh, it only lasts a week. I had to focus on sports. Season started.
What?
But so when he gets to college, when Jordan gets to college, I remember seeing Ella. I remember seeing this girl, and she was so pretty, and she
Aw.
had this really, really, really short skirt. Okay, I know she didn't have nothing on under the skirt, and she was
oh my
long,
God,
beautiful. I
mom.
mean, she was really pretty. She was standing at the dorm's door, and I sat there, and I almost wanted to say, "Baby, what are you doing?" And so that was the first time I started to see the groupies, and I see they come. I mean, they come in low. Listen, these chicks
So
be
that's real. The
no,
women.
listen, these chicks be red bottom shoes. I'm talking battle, and they're beautiful. I can't take it. Like these girls are really pretty, and they literally will either stand at the dorm's door or they'll come in groups, and so it's kind of like, okay, hold on. And I always told Jordan, I said, and I tell all the kids, even Jaden, even though she's a female, you're a dollar sign when you play sports. I need you to understand that. You're now a dollar sign, especially when you get to college. And then if you get to college to professional, you're really a dollar sign. So anything and everything that comes at you, you need to think I'm a dollar sign first because they're not coming to get to know you.
That's true.
They're
Yeah,
coming to collect a check.
That's true.
So let's
So
keep it
sad.
100.
That's so
It's
sad.
sad, but it's real.
Yeah.
But you see them come like her and Anthony, he can wink. So when Anthony started coming around and we adopted him because
oh
he's
my
tall,
gosh.
light skinned, and then when he starts speaking, so then when he weak, I mean they just want to pass out. It's like,
Yep,
Is it? I
yep.
mean, Shannon, B100. Really? They're like, oh. I mean, are they like that for real? I can
For
believe
him,
it.
yeah. For him, yeah. For
I
him,
can believe it because And he's so
K-
innocent with it.
They come
He's
in.
not conceited. I like
I
that.
am
I like
innocent.
that.
Everybody
They
say that.
come
That's true.
in. Well, first time I went out with Jordan, so Jordan came home from I think it was the off season. He said, "Mom, let's
Oh
go
yeah.
out." So me and Jordan goes out, and so sometimes people used to think he was my boyfriend. I was like, "Oh, that's my son." So we went out one night,
That's it.
and I'm sitting there, and because we cool like that, so I don't drink or nothing. I just went out just to hang out with him. So I'm sitting there. He's like, "All right, Mom, I'll be back." So I'm chilling. I mean, when he walked in, it was just like because they can tell they're athletes. They have a
Yeah.
persona that they carry when they walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they do,
automatically.
bro. For real,
Yeah.
they
So
do.
it's like everything shifts. Their heads, their bodies, they everything just start turning towards their way, and it's just like, oh my god, it's crazy.
How do you feel when women respond to you like that, Joy? Anthony, how do you feel when they do that? Both of you, I want both of you to answer that. But you started with you, Anthony. How do you feel when you see that? Do you feel like, yeah, man, I got it going on, or do you like, no, ladies, please, I don't want any of you. I'm not thinking about any of you. Like, what, where, where are you with
it,
that?
it's weird because by nature, like I've always been pretty shy. So it's more I'm pretty confused. Like I don't understand why they react like that because at the end of the day, like I'm just a human being, just like you are a human being. And
Well, I'll tell
I
you.
mean,
You
and
need
it's
Auntie
like
to tell you? I'll tell you.
no, but and it's like like I like to observe. Like
Right.
I really like to observe, and it's like I know there's men who are more handsome than me. So why do you react like that when it comes to me? Like there's some people, some men who are more handsome, who got more money, who are well known, and it's like why do you react like that for me? You know what I'm saying? So I'm more confused more than anything. I'm not like I don't. I got confidence in myself, so I know who I am, and I'm cool. I don't need validation from other people, right?
I like
As long
that.
as you know my family is proud of me,
Yeah.
that's all that matters, right? But like to share the story, for example, like when I was in high school in France, I did not have the juice like that, right? Or maybe I had, but I really didn't know, and I was shy, um, didn't have much confidence in myself, and always been an introvert, right? And when I got to the States, you know, with all the success with football, being French, being, you know, that tall, light skinned guy, everything changed. Like suddenly I would get women's attention. But in college I've always had a girlfriend. You know, when I went to Purdue, I had a girlfriend, and you know, she was beautiful. She was, you know, that little chocolate with green eyes
Stop.
who plays softball. So like everybody knew her, and everybody knew me, and everybody knew that we were together. So it was like the power couple. So I didn't get no groupie waiting for me after the game because everybody knew on campus
She was staring
that
at
I
you, so.
was
Stay
I was
away.
cuffed. You
Yes,
know, you
right. I like
know.
it. I like it.
Yeah,
Well, what
but
happened to her? What happened to her?
oh well, you know, just life. Like we are in
Life.
in really good
Yeah.
terms. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
she's back in Nashville, Tennessee. We are really cool, and yeah, we just, you know, we moved on. But you know, I got myself a girlfriend. You know, she's in Paris right now. So
Okay.
so yeah, yeah,
Nice. Well, hello,
yeah.
girlfriend. So, what about you, Jordan? How does it make
what
you
about,
feel when
what
women
about
are just
you,
like
Jordan?
the guns, the smile? They're just like, I
See,
mean,
first
I,
of
I
all,
can only
I mean,
imagine. So, how does it make you feel?
it, I blame my mom. I get my good looks from her.
I
So
can, I can barely hear. I can. It's hard
I,
to
I,
hear
I,
you.
I blame my mom on that one. You know what I mean?
Oh, you
So
blame mom. He blames
yeah,
you, mom.
I get my good looks from her, and I get that. But at the end of the day, I was a shy kid at first
Yeah, he
when I
was.
was growing up. I was definitely shy.
Really?
I was
Yeah,
actually
he
short.
was.
I was short,
Short,
shy,
short and shy.
and skinny.
Short
I'm talking
and
about real
skinny.
skinny.
He was really
What?
And
skinny.
I didn't develop my looks until what you want to say sophomore junior year, mom. You want to say let's say like that in
Yeah,
high school
by
because
his side, it was
because
junior year.
by senior year I got a little bit of attention. Then it was kind of like I'm like, you know what, senior year got a little bit of attention. It was real chill. And
Okay.
then after that, when I got to college, I think I had
Just
more confidence in myself. And from
Yeah.
then on, I had attention from different women that were, attractive, attractive women. But at the same time, I still was kind of trying to figure out myself in life. And as I got older and older throughout my college career, I've had girlfriends and stuff where we would be together. And me personally, I like being in a relationship when it comes to just having somebody companion because I see my mom and when she's together now, she's been together. I don't know how many years. It's been like seven,
5 years.
8 years. It's been a
five years.
long. It's 5 years. Well, I see that love and I want that. You know what I mean? So I
Oh,
I
it
always
is true. I love it. I
yeah,
love what they have to.
I always
Yeah.
look for that. But
Oh,
sometimes you just don't find it. So I've
right.
been trying to get to myself and find that right person. But at the same time, you got so many distractions. So many people come at you saying, "I can be that person for you. I can do this for you. I can."
Of course.
I've
They're
had
watching
I've
the
had
Ella Johnson show right now. They're
yes,
thinking about
yes,
what he likes and they're taking
yes,
notes. They're
yes.
like, oh, yeah, I'm
Listen,
pretending to be all of
the
that.
first thing is you just got to be confident in who you are as a woman.
That's right.
And
That's right.
at the same time, my mom always told, when the old former girlfriends that I've had, um, just be confident who you are. What I like, me personally, is a confident woman that knows who she is. She doesn't have to feel like she has to be behind me in the shadows of playing. I play sports and I'm in this limelight, and she doesn't have nothing going for her. Um, it doesn't work that way. I got to have somebody that's also doing something with their self and that
Preach.
wants to go further than me in a way. And that makes me push them and they push me.
Mm.
And when you
I
don't have
love
that
it.
balance,
Hmm.
you just don't see it in that person, then you look for another person. You look for
Mm.
another person. And so
I
you
hope
don't know
women are
what's the
listening
real
to
woman.
that because
Yeah,
women
yeah.
think it's
So
all about the bodies
Mm.
and who can
No.
twerk and all
no,
that kind of stuff.
no.
No,
Real men like this, they want a woman who has this, who thinks with her
well,
mind.
you know what? It's funny because, like,
Yeah,
the girlfriends he had, I'm real with them, right? And I tell them, I said, listen,
I
sis,
believe that. Yeah,
don't hide behind. And I don't listen, parents, stop taking one side and not the other. And my Jordan will tell you, if you're wrong, you're wrong. I'm not going to take your side because you're my son.
No,
And if
yeah. He
she's
hasn't took
wrong,
my
she's
side before.
wrong. And I'm gonna let her know. So it's not a
Yeah.
that's your son and you're taking his sides. No, he knows many a times. I'm like, Joke, I will choke you. One, you're
She's
not gonna be
she's
disrespectful.
taken their side plenty of times and I'm like, what are you
But I
talking? Yeah.
told
Mm.
him, I said,
Yeah.
listen, I said, don't hide behind my son. I said, do whatever you're supposed to be doing, continue to do it.
that's
Don't
right.
hide behind him.
That's
I
right.
said, you still be a teammate. You still go be great at what you're called to do. Just I don't care if he brings you home, if he's bringing home 20 million. Don't give up who you are.
That's
And
right.
but you have a lot of these girls who they get with the players and they're like, "Oh, you're bringing home 20 million. I'm gonna stop being me." Well, then there's a problem because now there's mentally there's things that she's going through. There's that I wish I would have done this. That
Mhm.
you go through so much, right? Because you gave up everything,
Yeah.
and
And
then
then you
there's
blame him for it. Yeah.
there starts to be a resentment. So I always
Yeah.
tell them, do not give up whatever you, I don't care if you're going to be a doctor. I don't care if you're going to be an attorney. Don't give up whatever it is you're doing. Don't give it up just
That's
because
right.
you're with or you're going to marry someone who has a bigger career than yours. Don't give it
Mm.
up. And he'll
I
talk
want
to
to add. I want to add something though, because we transparent on this show, right?
That's
So I
right.
just want to give my perspective on women. Um, I believe in love, right? I believe in love. I believe in the type of relationship where you build something together and
Yeah.
you help each other out, right? But if I gotta be completely honest, even though I believe in love, uh, I got some type of fear when it comes to women because we are athletes, and when they see athletes, a lot of women they think dollar sign or they think about using us,
Yeah.
right? And I've
It's
seen some
true.
stuff where it's really like I'm not scared of women, right? Like I love women, but it's like I'm really like I'm extremely careful
Of
when it comes to
course.
women. And so far,
Yes.
like I've been blessed. Like I don't attract, and I really pray that it keeps going that way. But I never attracted bad women, and I've seen bad women.
Mm.
Like I got a story like at Purdue. Some of my teammates, they a group of three of my teammates, well, like good guys, they would do, they be sometimes in trouble, but good guys. And I've seen a girl who literally lied and said that her and two of her friends got raped.
Oh,
Yeah, we know
And
some
I mean,
yeah.
Jordan got a friend too, Sean.
Yeah,
Big
he had a
Sean.
friend that he,
Yeah,
and then the woman admitted that it didn't happen, but
it
like
didn't happen.
it
He
cost
So
was.
him
wait a minute.
Oh, wait, so let me
Yeah,
tell you, Sean. Sean was Ellis. Sean was 2 weeks away from the NFL draft, first round pick.
a high draft
Playing
profile.
him.
Oh, and he
So it
lost
was
it.
a consent situation. She called. He was like, "All right, cool. Let's hook up. Let's chill." The next day, he said, "Because and if you meet him, he about 7. He big, right? But if you really meet him, he's like a gentle giant, right?"
I'm sure.
So the next day, he said he was telling us about the story, and he said the next day his roommates called. He said, "Man, where you at?" He said, "Why?" He said, "The police are here looking for you." He said, "What are you talking about?" Well, she went and said he raped her.
Oh,
So he lost the draft, he lost
oh,
everything. So for 3 years, it was locked up in court for 3 years. After by the end of the third year, just recently, um, they found out she lied. She admitted she lied.
oh.
Now you understand he
Was it too late for him
it was
to
too
get
late.
back in? It was too late.
So he ended up
Even
going and he ended up playing in the XFL with Jordan. And so and then they worked together, and so he's in the CFL as well. But
he
you
became an all-star
understand,
now.
you're
He's an
two
all-star
weeks
player. Yeah.
from the draft.
Mm.
First, I mean, he went to Baylor. Like he was all everybody knew him. He was all American. I mean, you knew he was getting 20 mil off the cuff,
Yeah,
right?
everybody know him for sure.
oh,
So that's the same thing that happened to my son that I have that came to me from Chris Turner. Chris Turner was a year away from the draft. He was guaranteed third round pick in the draft. Same situation,
a
but she didn't
woman.
claim it was a different kind of situation. But she lied. It was the same thing. He lost everything.
I see why these guys are like they are. I don't blame them. They're like, he says, I'm not thinking about her. I will never forget that, Anthony. That was classic. He said, I'm not thinking about her. But you know what? You gotta be like that to protect yourself. You got
Yeah,
too much to lose.
that's it.
So I'm so glad that you guys are grounded in that area because y'all, I know you guys are seeing that men in the NFL, what's happening. The one guy where he beat the woman up, men
Yeah,
killing him. I mean, just
yeah,
all kinds of stuff.
Because
They
no
get
one
in the NFL and they just forget
it's not
something.
that they forget. I think what it is when they go, they already have problems. But you
Mine
put
not right.
$20 million, 50, whatever it is, on top of the problem. No one takes the time. All you see is NFL players, and it's not even just NFL. It's whether women's sports. All you see is an athlete.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't think they have problems. You don't think they went through anything. And what happens if they never dealt with the root of their problems at a young age, they just carry it to the
that's it.
next
Because
level.
Shannon, money just exposes who you really are. The more
Right.
money you have, it's quicker for us to find out who you really are. If you're a
Right.
giver, we'll find that out. If you're a
Right.
thief, we'll find that out. Whatever you are, money will expose it.
Money
Real
will
talk.
expose it. And then when you
Yeah.
get up there and either you have a career ending injury or they don't want you no more, then everything just comes to the top. The depression, the that's when you start to see, the rage, the beating, the fighting. Listen, if a guy was beating up a girlfriend, he didn't just start that in the NFL.
Yeah, he
He
was doing it.
started that in junior
And he
high.
was probably beating her up in junior high. And she followed
But
the
nobody,
money.
right. So he just
Yeah.
carried it to the next
Yeah.
place. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. And so what I do is I like to deal with the character side of the athletes. It's
Absolutely.
not so much I don't care about the money and the physical. It's like let's get your mental stable enough or solid
And
so So when you
Amen.
get there, you won't crumble.
Yeah, right. Hard to get in, hard to stay in. So tell me something people don't know about you guys. Starting with you, Jordan. What is something about even your mama, who's
Oh
sitting
Lord,
right here on the show? Tell me
Jesus.
something nobody knows. Close your
mm,
ears, Shannon. Nobody
um,
knows this about Jordan. You're gonna
honestly,
reveal it on
I
the
don't.
Ella Johnson show.
I don't know. I don't really have nothing to. I mean, just for me personally, like my mom knows everything about me. You know,
She's like, that's right.
she is my rock. I mean, she knows all my problems and situations.
Oh,
So me, I don't really have nothing that nobody really knows other than the fact that I am a king, and I have more in life that football is a tool for me, but at the same time, I do more things. I like to give back to kids. I like to
yes.
I do personal training that if people don't understand, I do personal training to help people out, just to give back and show that no matter what, I am human. And when I see somebody that I'm training and they enjoy the fact that they're seeing the shape and frame and image that they personally want to see in their life, and they can finally see it because of me helping them out, that gives me joy. And I get happy about that. And I love helping other people out about their life problems. Sometimes that's why I'm a life coach. Sometimes they come to me and they talk to me and I give them advice. And I don't do it because of money. I do it actually because of like I love to help people when it comes to just giving out advice and talking to them and being in that ear that people don't realize, they don't have.
I love it.
So I've
I
seen my
love
mom
it.
do it to other people. So I got like this little
I'm
connection
getting
where I'm like,
chills.
yeah, when my mom
I'm
does it,
getting
I'm like,
ch-
what, I can do it too. So yeah.
I'm getting chills listening to him talk because I know you, Shannon, too, and I'm just like, you have done an excellent job. You deserve your flowers, Mama. I love this. I am just so impressed with both you guys. But I want you to tell me, Anthony. Tell me something
I thought
about
she was going to
you.
forget. I thought she was
Oh,
going to
of course
forget.
I'm not gonna forget. Your smile gave it away. If you
uh,
wanted me to forget, you gotta stop looking so obvious.
okay.
So tell me something about you that nobody knows. Anything.
Well, really, my close circle, they all know exactly who I am. They know the ins and outs. But the people who just know me, I don't know, from afar, let's say from afar, can be, they heard of me or social media, uh, will be that I'm a, I mean, my friends like to say that I'm some type of a philosopher and poet, you know, because, you know, people who just know me from afar, they just always put me and Jordan in the same box, an athlete.
Yeah.
And for them, an athlete is most likely just, okay, they look good, they're
Players.
handsome man, they're
Yeah.
athletic, blah blah blah, and that's it.
I don't though. I don't. I never
But
do because I know everybody's
but
different.
but like you said, like I mean, Jordan, earlier he said, that I'm always in my books.
Always.
Like I'm just, I don't know. There's just something about me. I like to describe myself. Like I'm an old soul in a young body.
Yeah.
And it just
I'm starting to
I
see that.
like I just like literature. You know what I'm saying? And like it might sound cliche, but love, really like love, not not the intimacy love, the man and woman love, like love of life, the love of uh just the other day went to the beach,
Hmm.
right? And he just saw me just sit down, putting my book down and just looking at the ocean, looking at the
Right.
sky, the clouds, and it's just like the love of life.
Oh,
Like
that's
I know like
beautiful.
it may sound weird, for some people, but I got to a stage where it's like I see love. I see love everywhere in all of its form,
Oh,
He's and
and
I can say that for Anthony.
and
Anthony, when
and it's
Anthony came,
like I decided like maybe I would say 2019 to trying to show that aspect, that side of me where it was only just me, and I wouldn't even show it to my family, and I slowly started to open up that side of me more to my family, to my friends. And now, like, if you look at my IG, like, I got highlights of just books, some passages that I like to share with people. I share a lot of art. It's just a side of me that people don't know
Yeah.
that is in me. Yeah.
Well, I want to definitely see it. I want to see it. We'll see it. I mean, when I say see it, I mean like I want to see you in
Feel
different
it,
places. Yeah.
feel it. Yeah,
One day I
it's all
can see
about
you
feel
being a
it.
motivational speaker. I wasn't like seeing it. I'm not gonna say something like that, but but yeah, I think that would be good. Everybody's giving their comments to be you, be unique. They're saying, people think that it's real what people are doing out there. I'm gonna ask you guys a political question now. Uh-oh. Athletes don't usually like politics, right? Is that real? They're like, oh man, I thought we were gonna get off this show without having to deal with that.
No, we
Not
try. We
necessarily.
try.
No,
I'm
Okay.
gonna ask you guys this question right here. If Colin Kaepernick came up to you right now and said, Jordan, Anthony, come on, brothers, take the knee with me, what would you do?
no. Honestly, I'm gonna answer first. When all that happened, I mean, to answer your question, like, it's a no-brainer. I do it. Like, it's a no-brainer. And I was really shook to see all the backlashes that Kaepernick will get. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't understand, like, why not all black athletes, I mean, black NFL players, I just don't understand why they decide not to just everybody just do it, Because, I mean, it was pretty clear, the first, like, the first game he did this, after the game, there was this one interview and he explained everything, right? And so everybody saw that interview.
Everybody.
Everybody saw that. So his intentions,
Right.
and he was able to articulate all of his arguments
Yes, he did.
in a concise way. And it's like, after that,
Hmm.
why don't you just do it with him? Like, I personally, that's something that I guess I would just never understand why it didn't happen that way. Because it's not like he's not hurting nobody. He's not disrespecting the flag. He got this idea of a vet,
But let me
you know?
change this. Let me change it up a little bit. Let me change the script. Let me change the scenario on you. You're
Right.
right in the middle, training, being signed.
Mm.
Colin comes and says, take the knee. This decision may alter what they do. It may decide your fate for you. This
But we don't
decision.
know that. We don't know that. I
Do
mean,
you take the knee still?
if I'm about to sign and I signed the contract, or right before I sign, I get a phone call by Cap, and he tell me, okay, like, hey, take the knee on that next game. Honestly, I don't. At this point, I don't know the possible consequences, and I don't need to know the possible consequences.
So
So
you take the knee. You still
yes, it's
do
the
it.
same answer. Yeah.
Okay, I like it. All right. What about you, Mr. Jordan?
Me personally, at first I was always thinking about.
Can you get closer to the mic? Because I want to make sure that we capture
Yeah,
your
sorry.
conversation. I just
Can
can't.
you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear
That's
me?
better. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Me personally, I always told myself, why did he take the knee? And even me and my mom talked about it, and we talked about, like, if they don't want to do it, we can play and everything. But we had to sit down and really understand, why did he do it?
Right.
And once we figured out why did he took the knee, and it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't because of disrespecting the flag or anything. He actually came out with a show on Netflix. It's like called Black and White with
I
Colin
loved
Kaepernick.
it. It was amazing. Have you seen it,
And
Shannon?
Not yet.
Oh,
I
you
need
have to
and
watch it. You
when
have to
you
watch it.
when you watch the story of his
Yeah.
life and how he had to go through all the situations and things that, from the cornrows to when he was playing
Yeah.
baseball to everything,
Yeah.
all he was doing was making a stand for not just black people, but just for the fact of people that are just in color in general. And that what made me realize that this is more than just football. At the end of the day, the reason why a lot of black people didn't do it is just because they knew the one person that had their paycheck was the livelihood. You know what I mean? And that was the head owners and the people that
Yeah.
said, I have your check to take care of your family. And you take that knee, you ain't getting this check. But what they didn't realize is that no matter what, people can always dangle stuff overhead, but we know who we are. If we're kings in this world, God has something bigger and better for us, no matter what it is. And He's trying to use
Oh, oh.
Oh, something happened with your mic there. Ain't the devil something? This boy was on a roll. Girl, you got some preachers here. You hear me? For real.
We keep
Uh-oh. They'll probably come back. I cannot tell you how much I am enjoying them, Shannon. I cannot begin to tell you how much I'm enjoying this show tonight with these guys.
and
Like I
that's
could
just
sit,
two of them.
I could talk to them all night.
Yeah,
You
and
guys
that's
are back.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
back. You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Sorry, I got one of my coaches trying to call
phone
me.
calls that
Yeah.
come through. So
Oh. Oh yeah,
um
well, you got to take that. Handle your business for
yeah, phone
real.
calls come in. But at the end of the day, like he took a stand, and I truly believed in that opportunity, the fact that like if he's making a stand, I would make a stand. And my mom actually came to agree, like, you better make a stand. So from then on, I knew, okay, this is more than just sports. And we talk about character. Me and my mom does. That's why we have the 1% show. That's why we have all this stuff going on. Just because it's more than just being a football player. It's about your life, about how you treat others, and how your character. When somebody meets you, the first impression is everything. It's truly
Absolutely.
everything. If you mess up
Absolutely.
on one time with another person, and you can give them $1 million after or whatever, they're gonna think about that first time, like how you treated
Absolutely.
them.
First impressions,
You
lasting
know,
impressions.
it's the lasting
Absolutely.
impression. And so your character and what he believed in was making a change for people. And they looked at him as a guy that's disrespecting the flag, but we looked at him as a guy that's making a
They
difference
changed
for
the
us
narrative
people.
because they
Yeah,
didn't want to deal with the truth. That's
yeah,
all that was. So
that's
I
all it
agree
was.
with both you guys. In a heartbeat, I would take the knee. No matter what I have to lose. I don't care about that. I care about principle.
Yeah.
I don't care about being popular. I care about being purposeful. And
Mm.
Yes.
everything you do has to count. And taking that knee, you've already learned how to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of
Yes.
the reasons that going through hard times, it prepares you for that moment where you have to decide, is it more about money? That's why I asked the question the beginning of the broadcast. If you're just tuning in, the first thing I asked these young men were, what is the easiest to manage, money, your mind, or what was the other
Material.
thing I said?
Materials.
Material.
Material wealth.
it's your
Yeah,
mind.
and it's your mind. That is because that controls. And I like how Anthony said it. It controls everything else. If that's solid, then you'll make good decisions about your money. You'll make good decisions about the material things that you have. So that was very good, guys. If you're just tuning in, you have to tune. You have to go back and watch this broadcast tonight because it's very good information, guys. Because we're almost out of here. I want you guys to fill in the blank.
Okay.
If it had not been for blank, I would not be here.
If it
God.
had, yeah.
You need to
Straight up.
think about it. I love
Nah,
it.
I'm mad about.
That's the you know what, because that's the thing that I taught them, and even on our sessions when we talked about Sunday. Sunday is not that they go to church here at the
Mhm.
house, because we have a house full of athletes. We have see, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. I think we have
You
8.
should might as well just say 10.
I think
just,
it's
just
about
give
8 of
extra
them,
room just in case.
right? It's about 8 athletes, and so they have to come. We meet on, downstairs on Sunday, and I don't like to call it church. We have heart to heart, like we talk heart to heart, real conversations, sex,
That's
drugs,
good.
women, everything. And so I always tell them, I said, listen, the real game is not when the lights are on.
Preach.
Real game is when those lights goes off and you come home. The real game is here. They
Yes.
don't see you still
Yes.
play because you're beating yourself up. Maybe if I would have caught that ball, maybe if I wouldn't have done, that's the real game.
Yeah.
It's not out there, on the football field or the basketball court. It's when you come home and you have to deal with social media and them talking about you. When Jordan was in high school, he could not watch social media at all. His
Good
games,
deal.
no, he couldn't watch it. It was
Stay
in
off of
college
it.
that he started to
Yeah.
pay attention. And that's
Yeah.
so when we talk about God, I always tell him, listen, he is the only way you're gonna make it. He's the true
Yes.
king. He's royalty. And if he's king and royalty, that makes you king. So you have to learn how to rule as a king. You have to learn how to speak as a king. When you want something, declare and decree and speak it. You have to learn how to rule from that place. Not
Amen.
rule from a religion, but rule from a royal position. So when you do that, then that forces you to think like a king. How would a king think? How would a king rule? How would a king speak? So it's conversations. Me and Gene, we sit with these boys, and we're 100. And Gene,
You know why I like that, Shannon? I like how you differentiated between religion and royalty. Because sometimes religion will cause us to look at ourselves less.
yep,
Because we feel like for some reason, we have to get up on that cross. And I'm like this God is, I can imagine Jesus. And I'm going to make Jesus like hood right now. If Jesus were here, he'd be like, look at here. What y'all trying to get up on the cross for? I already did it. Just take my grace and move.
right,
Because I'm like, listen, God, you better than me because I wouldn't get up on the cross for nobody. Look at here. Y'all would have just had to die and go to hell if you were waiting on me. I'm just gonna. I know I got real country right there, but I felt that all in my gut because you know what? He's God and he deserves to be treated like that. And we have to learn how to know the difference so that he can be honored the right way. Because when you sit around here and you're religious, you're set on ideals, you're set on a book that says you have to do it this way. You're not dealing with him. We've given
right.
him these are the rules for you to be God, and this is what we're gonna roll. And nobody gets to know the real him when we
That's
deal
right.
with religion. So I like how you differentiated between that. And another thing, when you were talking about character, this is something I really wanted to end the show with tonight because character is what you do when nobody's watching.
That's right.
That's the real character. It's
Hmm.
good. We could be here, put our best foot forward. We could put shine for the cameras and be all this and that and religious and all that. But when no one's watching and nobody has the spotlight on you, what you do then in those dark hours, that's who you really are.
Yeah.
That's real talk. Right, guys?
Right.
Have you guys ever experienced racism in football? Throughout your whole football career, have you personally, I know you see it around you, but have you personally, Jordan, Anthony, ever experienced racism in this arena, football?
No, me, I never felt that way. I can say that I felt, we talked about it before the show. When I told you that when people know that I'm French, that I'm not American, suddenly, like, intentionally or not, the perspective change. That happened to me. Like, I've had, I'm not gonna say names, but I've had coaches who, just because I was French, even if like there was film of JUCO, they were questioning my ability just because I was French. If I was American and went to the same
Wow.
JUCO, would have
Right.
been different. But
Yeah.
just because I got an accent, it's like, oh man, got an accent, man. Like, what's his football IQ? Like, is he
Yeah.
small? Can he really understand what I'm saying? Like, some dumb shit like that.
Oh,
Sorry for the
yeah.
world. Like, he came,
Right.
he came out no, but
I know.
like
It came up out
it,
of you. I got you.
yeah, like, it just,
Yeah.
it just show you like how
Yeah.
annoyed like it was for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's already hard for Americans. It's already like we talk the 1%,
Percent.
but I'm coming from a different country. I'm coming
Yeah.
from a different continent.
Yeah.
So these chances
It's personal.
are divided by I don't know how, I don't know what,
The
you
difference.
know.
Yeah.
And it's like I finally get a chance, to get in a position where I think, I'm just, on the same spot as, other guys who I'm competing with. And then it's like, oh, if I don't have, a smart coach or educated coach, then it's like, okay, now I gotta even go harder,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. But
What about
racism,
you?
in terms of, being black, no, not never
I'm
never in football.
actually thinking about it, and I haven't really experienced any really racism towards me. I think just because of how I carry myself. Um, Now, maybe there's some things that's happened over my head and I didn't realize it, but like bluntly in my face, no. I think because how I was raised and how my mom raised me and how I look people in their eye and I respect them, they can't really say nothing bad about me. And sometimes I swear my mom is a praying woman, so she has this like prayer that she got us covered as our kids.
She definitely does.
And so I think when people look at me, they might see God a little bit because they might be like, you know what, I'm not gonna say nothing crazy to him because
It's
I
called the
said something.
anointing. It's
It's
called the anointing.
it's definitely
Yes.
something. So I was definitely
Yeah.
fortunate to not really see it in front of my face, but at the same time, there was probably moments that growing up I didn't see, and
That's good because you didn't
nowadays
allow.
you don't realize it. Yeah,
I didn't raise
Yeah,
them that way because this is the thing,
that's
Ella.
good.
This is because my mom didn't raise us that way, right? So the law of attraction, you attract how you carry yourself and what you act, right? And
Right.
so you always hear the typical white man stop you, white men. And I've always taught my kids, they can't stop you.
I know that's right.
Okay, let me
Preach.
let's get this one, and we got to get. And I said, they can't stop you, just like no one can stop you. Only person stop you is you. If God gave you the green light, nobody can turn it red but you. I can't turn it red. Your daddy can't turn it red. White man can't turn it red. Nobody can turn it red but you. So
That's
if you
right.
stop, you stopped yourself. So
That's
I've
right.
always taught them that. And then I've always put it, listen, he's a king. He's God. When he got on the cross, he got on the cross for everybody. He
Right.
didn't pick a race. He didn't pick a female, male. He did it for everybody.
That's
So if
right.
you carry yourself from that place, then you attracting, I'm not saying racism not there, but the chances of you truly attracting it will be at a minimum,
hmm
right? When
Yeah.
you meet
Because if
somebody,
it's always on your mind, you are gonna attract it.
yes,
you are,
Yeah.
but when you meet someone, you shake their hands, you look them in their eye, because that's one thing about people. If you shake their hands with a firm handshake and you
And
meet
you
them in
look
the
them in the
eye,
eye.
they know you mean business. But if they can sense you don't have no education, if they can sense you're dumb, or if they can sense you're ignorant, they're gonna ride on that. But if you come with them with a handshake, eye to eye, listen, this is business. You can't stop me. I can't stop you. We either can make it work or we don't make it work. Kind of mentality. You're good to go.
They'll ride you if you bend over too.
They're right.
Because, and I mean that like in a not physical sense.
I
I'm
know.
talking about if you bend in certain ways and certain things, you compromise this, compromise that, then people will ride you like that. And that's one thing I truly, truly believe in that when you talked about looking in the eye, because see, that's an old school thing for me. And people play it down. And I'm like, you don't understand how much power that really has
a lot of people.
because I know what it meant back in the day. A lot of people don't know what it meant back in the day, why we were taught not to do it. And maybe some people need to know. I mean, we were taught not to do it because that was a slave thing. That when you look a person in the eye, white man in the eye, that you're basically saying that I'm on your level and that you're not supposed to be on their level. So you're supposed to look down. And a lot of people still do it, Shannon. And I see it a lot. And I'm just like, ugh. And I just wish that we could get past some of those things because we got to start building ourselves up. We don't have time to worry about what somebody else is doing.
That's
We
right.
got to worry about what we're doing, how we're building our communities. Well, guys, listen. Do you guys have any questions for me? This is your chance to ask me something before we get out of here. Anything at all. I'm back.
You know what?
What would you guys like to?
I mean, me personally, out of all this, um, hearing our stories before we get off, what was your thought process? Just did it touch you? Did you feel like our stories made you feel like you understand us better as young men?
Yeah, what did you learn?
Okay, those are both very good questions. The first question, when you guys came on the screen, I already felt it. I can read people very well. Your energy that came through the screen, I already felt that these are guys that are principled. I knew that you were going to come with some stuff that made some sense because
Yeah.
I know what she's taught you. So that's one right there. What did I learn? I learned that there are some young men in this world that really got it going on. And I'm not just talking about, see, at first we were joking about the muscles, the accent, and all that kind of stuff. And all that stuff is still real and all that stuff still looks good. But
Yeah.
at the same time, what attracts me the most and most people is what's going on in your head.
That's right.
You know, and that's what I will remember from this show. Now, if I want to see the muscles and I want to hear the accent, I'll play it back. But what you said, I told you I should be paying y'all.
Oh,
I have to say, Shannon, you got to help me out. I know that's your baby and everything, but he has, and it's been a while. I'm just saying.
I know. I get it a lot.
Yeah. Even from older women.
You know what? He'll tell you, Joe. He'll tell you. Even all the kids will tell you. I told him actually when he came home from college the first time, and I saw how tall he got. I said, "Let me tell you something, Joe. I don't care how tall you get.
I still put you across my
I
name.
wish you would try me one time."
Oh.
So it doesn't matter how. I tell all of them, Anthony. I tell them all, don't I, Jordan?
You don't see any of that, right?
Even the new ones, I'm like, listen, and so his brother he got a couple of uppercuts himself. His second oldest brother. So it's just, but I get it all the time. His muscles.
But no, listen, I think that you guys have
French. I get it all the time.
I'll be honest with
Chris.
you.
So Chris, now you have to meet Chris. So Chris, they got this thing called the light-skinned pose, right? So Chris is so funny. So Chris goes, Mom, you got to do the light-skinned pose. They got this certain look that they do. So it's
show me the light-skinned pose. Y'all do it for me.
Light-skinned pose, y'all. Go ahead.
No, that's you. You do it.
I'm darker.
Mom knows that you'll act more light skinned than I do. So go ahead, show off.
I don't have light skin pose.
Show off.
I really don't have one. If I had one, I would use it. That would be like my superpower. You know what I mean?
Show me the light-skinned pose, Anthony.
I ain't got one.
And show light-skinned pose, Ant.
Okay, that's how Jordan be.
Show it.
See, with me, I can't even do it right. I'm just me. I guess me, I am my own light skin pose all the time.
Well, listen, I know it works. I'm gonna tell you, but you know what? I love it because you guys staying the way you are, you're gonna turn women into real women. Because what they're gonna find out is that their bodies don't matter to everybody.
That's right.
And that's gonna make them like, you know what? Wait a minute. They're gonna rethink their strategy. So you guys are doing good, and I just hope you keep it up. I really do. I hope you keep it up. You've done a great job, Shannon. I want you to tell everybody about your show, Jordan. I want you to tell everybody about the 1%, why you did it, when it's on, when they can catch it. Do that right now so we can tune in to your show.
The 1% show basically talks about how a lot of people around the world, they make it into their 1% of their profession, not just in football, but just being a doctor, lawyer, a scientist. I mean, anything that makes it to that 1% that's hard to do, you've made it. But then we also talk about the side of staying in that 1%, because once you make it to that 1% of being a great profession at what you're crafted to do or gifted to do, it's hard. You're going to go through ups and downs. You're going to go through, struggles and stress and times that you feel like, why am I doing this? And you got to remember, at the end of the day, everybody has that same mindset of, I want to be just like you, right? And so they want to hear the struggles and the problems and what's it going to take. And when you get to that lifestyle, you're going to have moments where I got to just match the energy of the glamour life, or I can, this is the 1%. I made everything to it. But at the same time, you got to be honest with those people. Not everybody's going to make it at this profession, no matter what it is. Now, there's ways to get close to it and then do other things to help you move on from your character or whatever that helps you motivate the next person that do make it. But don't feel bad if you don't make it at the same time. So the 1% show is something that me, my mom, and Chris, I've been doing for a while now. We're on season 2. We're getting season 2 going. And we're just going to talk about just life and the people that makes it into the professions and the struggles that they're human, just like us. And yeah, football is everything to me. It's everything to Chris. It's everything to Anthony. But at the end of the day, we're just humans, and we go through.
I want everybody to take a look at this.
Shout out to my mom for making the video. She actually gets it.
She did a great job. Look at that. That's what you really look like.
Yeah,
I've watched this at least 10 times.
Second and 14.
It's very interesting.
Good for a first down.
Look at that. Look at that.
Smallwood breaking free to the 15. Cuts it back inside. And right at the pylon. Top of your screen. On third down, it's picked off. It should be a touchdown. There goes Turner. Welcome to the game, Chris Turner. His third play in the game, and it results in a touchdown. Landry Jones is trying to get right. He's going to unload deep down the sideline. First down, Dallas. First catch of the game for Joshua Crockett. And Dallas gets out of the shadows of the end zone with a 39-yard completion.
So
that's what we do. That's what we do. We just go out there and tell everybody stories. I love it.
Nice.
1%.
I loved it. That was awesome. Kudos to you, Shannon. I think you were doing an excellent job with Evolve Sports 365. And I believe that God is going to give you so many young men. It's going to triple, double, quadruple the young people that you're going to have, because women who have sons that are athletes, they're going to trust you. And it's because you have this character about yourself. Immediately, the very first time you were on my show, what was the first one? Was it husbands and wives? Was it a relationship show? Mm-hmm. The first one that you guys were on, I immediately
domestic violence and love after abuse.
That's right, domestic violence show. And ever since then, my sister loves you. Like, she talks about you like she's already met you, and she's only seen you through my show, but she just loves you. And you just can't. You have that character about yourself. And now that I got a chance to meet your son, and your sons, I'm just so proud of you. I am so proud of you. I want to bring up
this question.
I want you guys to do me a favor. My nephew.
Before we do it, there's a question. She said, my 13-year-old boy is really
let's show this.
Really hard on himself and how he's built. Always worried what others think. I try as a mom to help him with this, but what advice? So as a mom, you have to be his number one fan. Yeah. And the hard on himself is because he's comparing himself to all the other kids, right? Jordan was the same way. He was, he wasn't, if you could see, I had pictures to show you, Jordan was really little. But you have to keep encouraging them that they are great, that it's in them. And one day it's going to come out. You have to keep telling them how amazing he is, and to help him not compare himself to other athletes. And you have to help him understand that his gift is what God gave him. Yes. And that I always, with Jordan, I had to say, what did God call you to do? You do what he called you to do, because if you do, he's going to equip you. So you have to encourage him to let him know that, you got to look at Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry just made history, right? But if you go back to his story, nobody was looking at him. He was a skinny little kid. He was underrated. And that's why he has this thing now called underrated. So you have to help your son find those athletes that were considered underrated, underdogs, the small kids, the kids that weren't going to be nothing, and now look at them as the greatest of all time. So that's the things that I would help, with Jordan and, others I come through, even with my daughter. I have to help her, because by now she's thinking, Mom, I should have had a D1 scholarship somewhere. But I have to show, okay, Jay, let's sit down and talk about this.
That's right.
This is not over. Find who you are. Find that niche that's going to make you then want you. What do I always say? Every time you touch the field, what you do, Jordan? What I tell y'all? Leave your
mark. Yes.
Leave your signature.
Yeah.
Leave it all on the field, baby. Leave it all on the field.
leave your signature on the court. If your signature is
That's
you got
right.
the most blocks, do the most blocks. You know, you got to look at it again. You got to look at Stephen Curry. He mastered 3-point. He mastered it. And look at him. So help your son find that one thing that he is so good at, and then help him master that one thing. Not all of them, just one thing. If
Guys,
it,
I want y'all to say something to him also. Say
yeah,
something to him.
Me personally, I just don't give up. You know, I think that's something that I always tell myself when I was growing up. It's gonna happen. You know, you will have self doubts. You're gonna worry about what people think, and you can't. That's why I have, like I said, the overcomer tatted on me. Is just because I have to remind myself, no matter what the situation is, you can't overcome it, and you will overcome it
Amen.
regardless. And so,
Amen.
just keep pressing forward, keep doing what you need to do. Moms that's out there in the world that's doing that to their sons, keep supporting them, regardless, because we need it as young adults. You know, we're young kids, but we have to be adults sooner or later in life, right? So we need the motivation and encouragement to get us through. So that's what I would say.
Me, I would just say uh, to tell him that he's not alone.
Yeah,
He's not
Amen.
alone, and he's not the only one who feel like that. Because it's
Oh,
easy. I mean, coming from mom,
yeah,
you know that mom always, wants the best for you, right? But sometimes like you need to, like if he feels that way, it's because he's comparing himself to other people,
yeah.
right? But what if you tell him that, hey, all the other guys at some point they already felt that way, or they will feel that way, because we all go through that phase.
amen.
We all go through that phase. So you're not alone. It's going to pass. So stay strong. That's what I got to say.
Yes.
I want you guys. This is something that sticks home to me, and we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to get out of here. But this right here, remember I showed you guys this before the show. This
Yeah.
young man is T Drake. He's T Boy in my book, and that's him in the picture above, and that's his grandmother to the right there. And this is the reason I wrote my children's book. I want you guys, because my great nephew, um, the reason I did this book is in memory of my sister who passed away last year. But I made a promise to her on her dying bed, because I was with her when she took her last breath, and I made a promise that I would always look out for her grandkids. Well, this young man, T Boy, here is her grandkid. He's the star in my children's book, but he's also an athlete, and he's a basketball star, and he's on the honor roll. So I
Awesome.
want you guys to
Awesome.
speak to him and encourage him, because sometimes he still gets sad about his grandma, but he's still pursuing his basketball. He's still doing it, but he gets sad. So I want you guys to say something to T Boy and call him T Boy, because he likes that, because he thinks he's
Hey,
cool and
T
down,
Boy,
and yeah.
T Boy, she got the best seat to see you.
ooh, you're gonna make me cry. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
cry. I'm not gonna cry.
And
I'm not
I'm
gonna
I'm
cry.
seeing it's
Oh, I'm not gonna
sincere, man. Like
cry.
it's
I wasn't
it's part,
expecting that.
like it's part of life,
Yeah.
you know, to see our loved ones and close ones, you know, go up in the sky, but they got the best seat.
To
They
watch.
got the best seat to see you accomplish everything that you want to do.
Literally. I think T Boy, I mean, he's the angel. She's watching over you. Like how you said it. She's watching over you. And no matter where you go in life, you always gonna feel her presence. And when you feel her presence, it's not a bad thing. It's something that's saying, okay, we're gonna get through this together. And when you have moments in the game, you're doing something and you just feel like you were just in the zone, just know that she's with you the whole way. And even if you're not in the zone, she's with you still. And just keep playing for her,
Wow.
regardless.
Wow.
I'm so proud of my
You
son.
guys know that blessed me, because I'm having a hard time with it too. So thank you guys so much. Is there anything you guys want to say before we get out of here?
We just appreciate just being on the show and everything. And I definitely shout out to my mom. You know, she's done so much for us
Mm-hmm.
personally.
Yeah.
And I know she doesn't get enough credit for it, but we love her dearly, truly, all the time. And the sacrifices she's made for me and my siblings, and also for people that I bring in the homes. like my other brothers, Anthony, Josh,
Chris.
Chris, and the love that she has. So
Yep.
I definitely want to say, without her, I mean, my life would be just scrambled. So thank you, mom.
And just
Thank
thank you
you.
for the love, thank you for the energy,
Yeah.
really. And I said thank
Oh,
you to the both of you. Thank
Yes.
you, for giving up
Having us on the show.
this platform, and it's always felt good, to be able to talk in a transparent way,
Yeah.
So
We appreciate y'all.
well, I want you guys to
Can I say,
uh,
I want to say,
yes, ma'am.
my sons, thank you because you guys teach me. You guys
Oh,
teach me. You teach me a lot. And I also want to say thank you to my husband because I couldn't do it without him. It's a team.
yeah.
And he calls me over nurturing, and I can be, and I'm gonna be honest. And then he brings the solid from a man's point of, okay, Shannon, stop nurturing these boys. Get up, let's go do this, and boys, get up and let's go fix this. And so it's a balance, and so I have to say I truly appreciate him working. We work together as a team, but I thank my kids because they teach me. They think they just learn from me, but I learn from them
Oh, yeah. I can
how,
see it.
how to endure, even because they go through some tough things
Hmm.
being in the spotlight. It's some harsh things, but yet I learn from them as
Yeah.
well. So it's we all learn from each other. So
So for that young man or that young lady that's pursuing sports, she's in high school, he's in high school, they're in middle school, whatever the case may be, and they're watching you, they're watching all of these athletes that are in the limelight. What is your best advice to them? I want you guys to say that, and then we are going to say goodnight after you guys give them advice, because the purpose of this show is to let people see that you think you know what's behind this on and off the field situation, but you really don't know. So what we brought out tonight is that they go through a lot of stuff too. They don't just end up in the NFL. There's a lot of stuff they had to go through to get there. So what advice would you guys give these people, anyone that's pursuing, um, the job of being an
mm.
athlete?
Well, not only to athlete, it can be artists, or just more regular jobs. uh I would just say to persevere, because
Persevere.
it's not because you put your all into it that you're going to reach all your goals. It is that's life, you know. Just because you put all into it, your time, all your energy, doesn't mean that you're going to reach what you wanted or exactly what you wanted. But if you really put your all,
Hmm.
everything that you're going to get is what you deserved
Yeah.
and what you needed. And when you get this, you won't have any regrets.
All right. What about you, Jordan?
Um, for me personally, what I always tell myself is, you know, dream big. Never stop dreaming for what you
Never
want.
stop dreaming.
And if you feel like this is what I want to do, then I'm gonna go do it regardless. And I'm gonna make the sacrifices. I'm gonna make the hard decisions to get to where I need to be. And when you make those decisions, yes, you're not gonna be perfect. You might not make it, but you might not have no regrets either from it because you said I'm gonna give myself every opportunity, every shot to be that person I want to be, whether it's in sports, whether it's in the real world, whether it's just being a great father, a great mother, just whatever it is that you want to give everything you got out of it.
Mm.
And God sees that, and He's going to honor
Amen.
it, and He's going to guide you along the way. And you need to know that He's holding your right hand, and He's not letting go. And if you have that truly in your mindset, the world's yours.
Mm. Because
World is yours.
if you don't have any regret, there's no failure.
Yep.
Woo!
The only failure is when you realize that, oh, I could have done more.
Yep.
It's not about the results. It's about knowing if you put your all into it. If you put your all into it, there's no regrets, there's no failure.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, on that note, I could have just sat back and just
Mhm.
tonight because they handled it. Y'all handled this. I'm so proud of you
That's
guys.
thanks to
Listen,
y'all.
I'll tell you guys this. You gave me way more than I thought this show would be. I am
Mhm.
inspired by you both of you.
Thank you.
And I'm talking about by the words you say. And I am just so inspired by that. So, guys, listen, thank you all so much for tuning in. I want to thank my guests. Thank you guys for coming
Thank
and
you.
being on the Ella Johnson Show. It was truly my pleasure to have you guys here. Thank you all for watching. Please, if you're
Yep.
just tuning in, play it back. You have to play it back and watch this from the beginning. These young men are incredible. You don't want to miss this. This is the type of show you want your kids to watch. Now, some of my shows you might not want them to watch, but this one right here, this one right here, this is the show. But listen, guys,
Definitely.
we'll be back next week right here on the Ella Johnson Show with more stories. Have no idea what we'll be coming back to you with next week, but we will be back next week with Real Talk TV. That is for sure. So I want you guys to have a great weekend. Don't do too much shopping. Don't spend too much money out there. Okay. Remember, you got rent coming up next month. I just have to go there. You know, we just have to go there. I'm just keeping it real. But guys,
real.
enjoy yourselves and be safe. And we'll see you next time right here on the Ella Johnson Show.
Sounds
Good night,
good.
everybody.
Good night.
If you would like to be a guest on the Ella Johnson Show, simply send an email to theellajohnsonshow@gmail.com or just send a text message to 407-334-6997. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show.
Please don't you miss out. You will never regret. Tune in at 8 p.m. YouTube and Facebook Eastern Time. We catch you there. Ella Johnson Show.
For you.